Hey everybody, so glad to be in the studio again. And we're talking the audio studio. Getting ready, so excited for this day. I have been wanting to turn my wonderful, fabulous book into an Audible book for some time. So we are beginning the process, and I hope you guys come along. Thanks for joining us behind the scenes, or in this case, behind the den, of the curious case of Jenna Fox's behind the scenes of us recording this excitement. We are using Cool Edit Pro, which is actually 2.1, which is right before it was sold to Adobe. And that is the earlier version that we are using today. As you can see, we're using a nice little mic, and we have a nice pop filter here so that we can help with that and distractions. And we have some sponges on the wall to help, and we're going to be upgrading in the studio later. And you can see, and there's a nice mixer down there. We're using a nice laptop. And of course, I will be reading from my fabulous book today. So let's begin, shall we? And I have plenty of water with me today as well. You don't see the other, I got a huge big bottle of water over there. Quiet on the set, and action. Test, our audio levels are good. The Curious Case of Jenna Fox. It's Jenna from your block, poor but rich inside, by the Jenna Fox. Narrated by Jenna Fox. For all those trans, intersex, and LGBTQIAZ that have suffered and had no voice and felt there has no one. In 3, 2, and felt there has no. In 3, 2, and felt there was no one. I love you all, my brothers and sisters, and all other community members that identify or non-identify. You are not alone, and for your continued support, thank you so much. In 3, 2, and thank you for so much. Introduction. When looking at my life, how I help, what I do to help, and my Fox persona, it truly inspires me, and I am told it does also inspire many others around the world. And they come to tell me that I am a unique and interesting story, sort of a diamond in the rough, if you will. I have found this to be in 3, 2, I have found this to be a profound story in itself, as I will go deeper into this persona later in my book. Preface. My being story. How this book came to being. It all started back when I was born, but truly came to be more precise a few years ago. I began writing a little here and a little there about my life, and continued. In 3, 2, I began writing a little here and a little there about my life, and continued to put it together with collaboration information, online blogs, and some of my life story written in my music, and in my EPK, short for electronic press kits, bios, and more of the entertainment industry, and outside of the entertainment industry. I then contacted, ironically enough, 3 publishers, but I was quickly called back by this publisher, Publisher America, and considered to self-publish as well. I submitted my only having a few chapters together with all I had collected up, and had almost a full book. So I do not know whether I got lucky was just considered for other reasons, having built some stardom, or my story was truly unique, whatever the reason, I continued forward. I was a bit reluctant, so like anyone, I did my research on the publishing company, making sure they were legit and checked out. They did, but I think with anything, I was still a bit reluctant. In 3, 2, but I was still a bit reluctant. So I decided after a decision, in 3, 2, so I decided after a decision through email, I felt we would have a good symbolic relationship that would help each other. I felt we would have a good symbiotic relationship that would, in 3, 2, I felt we should have a good I felt we would have a good symbolic relationship that should help each other out. They had a lot of resources they could help me off the ground, and I was able to help in return in many ways. My sentence. No, wait, that's my sentence. An old mentor and manager told me I should have a 30-second elevator interview to present in a longer version for those that were ready to listen. In 3, 2. Hence, my short EPKs, electronic press kits. The short bios, abridged versions all over the media. Internet, commercial, non-commercial, non-for-profit, and community. And so many other locations. And my book and audio versions for the longer versions. I felt I cannot just wrap my story up in just 30 seconds. But I suppose if you read my synopsis, this will give you sort of a quick judgment if you want to continue further. But if you're reading this or listening to this, I assume you are curious or just interested on who, what, where this Jenna Fox is about and where she comes from, and her interpretation on resources and other information and many other areas I can only continuously speculate on. Or you may be just curious about the process. Not that I'll choose to take this far, not a choice. So says some, there's always a contradiction to all. Or choose to do parts more or less in their journey. Or what is or is about, or just curious in any way. But I can only speculate till the end of time. So I continue to ask myself, as you follow along, feel free to ask yourself along with me, or sit back, contemplate some of these questions yourself, write down notes, highlight any areas maybe in your mind that grab your attention, and or follow along on this journey with me. Was I better today than yesterday? This is a very interesting question to ask oneself.